Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda and I'm from amandacrochets.com, and in today's video I'm going to share my newest crochet collection, the Harry Potter collection. Now, I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. Where are my Hufflepuffs at? So I wanted to make some Harry Potter inspired items. Today also happens to be Harry Potter's birthday, so I thought it would be fitting to celebrate with some new awesome items. So I came up with this baby blanket, and I was inspired by the scarves from the movies. Now, I know this might not be traditional colors for every single blanket, but this is just what I came up with, and I thought they turned out very nice. So for the Harry Potter collection, I ended up using all Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn. And for the Gryffindors, I used Cranberry and Sungold, which is what you see here, and I just used a simple V-stitch to complete this blanket. Each blanket is about 34 inches wide by 38 inches long, give or take, depending on your gauge. So this is what the Gryffindor blanket looks like. So you have a solid red color, and then you have the striping with that sun gold and red color again. So for the Slytherins, I used a forest green, and I used gray mist, and again you get that solid green color, and then you get the gray mist and the green together to form that stripe. For the Ravenclaws, again, like I said, I know it's not traditional colors because the traditional colors are more of navy and a bronze, but I had a hard time finding a color that would work, so I just did the movie version, which is this gray color and the navy color. So the colors I use specifically for this are gray mist and dark denim. And then last but not least, Hufflepuff. I use sun gold and black for this blanket. So I really like how these blankets turned out, and I'm super excited to share them with you. So let's get started on the project for today. So for today, you're going to need a size J6 crochet hook. I'm using Clover Moore as always. Now for the blankets, if you're making the blankets, you're going to need 2 skeins of your main color. So you're going to need 2 skeins. If you're doing the Gryffindor blanket, say, you're going to need 2 skeins of that cranberry color, and then you're going to need 1 skein of your color B, which is going to be your sun gold if you're making that blanket for Gryffindors. Now, if you want to change up the sizing of this blanket, all you need to do is work any even number of chains, and of course you could change up the colors to match your Hogwarts house. And you could see at the beginning of this video of what I talk about for the colors. And also the chain 3 at the beginning of each row is going to count as your first double crochet. So in order to make this blanket stay in balance, you're going to have 1 double crochet on both sides of your work. So let's get started with the Harry Potter inspired baby blanket. So you're going to start with your main color and just make a slip stitch. For this tutorial, I'm just going to start using that dark denim color for the Ravenclaws. Now, if you're going to be making the blanket, you're going to chain a chain of 100. And for the swatch that I'm going to do, I'm just going to chain 24. So to make a chain, you're going to do yarn over your hook, insert your hook through that loop on your hook. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 21, 22, 23, and 24. Let's see if I can zoom up a little bit for you. Okay, so for row 1, you're going to work 2 double crochets into the 4th chain from your hook. So the loop on your hook does not count, and you're going to count 4 chains from your hook. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you're going to make a double crochet. So to make a double crochet, you're going to do yarn over your hook, insert your hook into that chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your chain, or 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops, and that makes your double crochet. So then you're going to do another double crochet in that same chain. So again, yarn over your hook, insert your hook into that same chain and pull up a loop, 3 loops remain, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So you have your first V-stitch completed. Next, you're going to skip the next chain, and in the chain after that, you're going to make 2 double crochets. So again, you're going to skip this next one right here, and in the following one, you're going to make 2 double crochets. And then this is going to be the start of your repeat. So in each stitch across, every other stitch rather, you're going to make 2 double crochets. So you're going to skip the next chain, which is this one right here, and in that very next one you're going to make 2 double crochets. So you want to continue this all the way down, and when you have 2 chains left, I will show you how to finish the row. Now that you have 2 chains left, you're going to make 1 double crochet in that very last stitch, and that is going to keep everything in balance. So that the first 3 chains that you skipped is going to count as your double crochet, and then you have the V stitches in between, and then you have the 1 double crochet at the very end. So to start row 2, you're going to do chain 3, so 1, 2, and 3, and turn your work, and then you're simply going to do 2 double crochets in between each pair of your double crochets from the previous row. So what I mean by that is, if you see your 2 double crochets, you're going to work right into that space in between, so just like that, and you're just going to kind of stack the V stitches on top of one another. So again, that chain 3 right here that you just did counts as your first double crochet, and then you just work into that space in between, and that will form your V-stitch. And again, you just repeat this all the way down. You want to just work into that space in between the 2 double crochets from the row before. So if you pull it apart, you can see your next V-stitch, and you want to go right in between with 2 double crochets. And you're simply going to repeat this over and over again for the length of your blanket. So for my blanket, I did 10 rows of your main color, and then I did 2 rows of my alternate color, 1 row of my main color, 2 rows of my alternate color, and then I repeated it back to 10 rows. And I did this, let's see, how many times did I do this? So you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You should have 5 sections where you have that 10 row of your main color. So I'm going to go ahead and work a few more rows, and then I will show you how to switch colors and work that stripe sequence. So I'll be right back. Did want to mention really fast, when you come to that chain 3 at the beginning right here, you just want to count up 3 chains, so 1, 2, and 3, and you're just going to work a double crochet in the top of that chain 3, just like that. So this is what your work is starting to look like. So again, I'm going to do maybe 1 more row, and I will come back and show you how to work that color sequence. Okay, so I finished 3 rows, so we'll just say that it's going to be my main section of my color. So to switch out colors, you're simply just going to take double crochet apart, and you're going to act like you're almost going to finish it, but stop right here when you have 2 loops on your hook. And for that new color, you want to leave a little bit of a tail so you can weave it in later, and you simply just want to lay it on top of your crochet hook and pull through with that new color. and then you would also cut your main color. But for the swatch, I'm just going to leave it, and then you would just simply chain up 3 with that new color. Now for this color B, as I'm calling it, or your alternate color for the Harry Potter inspired blanket, I am just making 2 rows of that color, and you would do it in the same way as the previous rows, where you're making the 2 double crochets in the space in between your V-stitch from the row before. So again, you will make 2 rows of this, and then you would switch back to your main color. So let me go ahead and work up 2 rows of this, and then I will show you how to work up with the main color and then back to that striping color. Okay, so I'm coming up on my last double crochet here. So again, I'm just going to make my double crochet and stop right here, and then I'm going to leave that behind. But again, if you're making the blanket, you want to cut it off and leave a little bit of a tail so you can weave that in later. And then I'm simply going to lay that main color down and pull through. And for the stripe, you're just going to make 1 row before you go back to that gray color. And like I said, then you're just going to repeat with that V-stitch from the previous row. So this is a very easy and beginner friendly blanket because you're just repeating the double crochets over and over for each row. You're just simply changing the color, and you're not changing the color too often to where you're so exhausted from changing colors, but you're changing it enough to make that Harry Potter effect, which, like I said, I was inspired by the scarves that they wore in the movies. You can definitely get a lot of practice with your double crochets by making this Harry Potter inspired baby blanket. And of course, you can always make this bigger if you want to make this for a child or a throw blanket, or even for yourself. You can just simply change up the amount of chains that you do by making it sure that it's just an even number chain, like I said. So if you have a Harry Potter fan in your family, you can definitely use this pattern to make a blanket for their Hogwarts house, depending on what house they belong to. And I'm sure they would very much appreciate it, because if I were to receive a blanket like this, being such a huge Harry Potter fan, I would definitely enjoy it, and I would appreciate it very much. So you're just going to do 1 row of this color, like I said, and then you're going to go back to 2 rows of that gray mist color, and then you're going to go back to working 10 rows of your main color. So that's pretty much all there is to it, to this blanket, pretty much, like I said. So let me go ahead and finish this row, and I will show you again what the blankets look like. But this is just the start of it. As you can see, it's very pretty so far. So if we were to look back at the blankets, so we'll just look at the Hufflepuff one real quick. You can see that the V-stitches sit right on top of each other. And when you come to that stripe, here are the 2 rows of the black, the 1 row of that Sungold, and then 2 more rows of that black. So like I said, you're going to have 5 sections where you have this bigger 10 row of your main color, and then you're going to have the striping in between. And I thought that was really pretty. And I hope you enjoy this blanket. Thank you so much for joining me today as I shared my Harry Potter collection pattern with you. And if you love Harry Potter just as much as I do, then you'll probably enjoy making these Harry Potter inspired blankets just as much as I did. So let me know in the comment section below what Hogwarts house you belong to, and let me know if you are inspired and are planning on making one of these blankets in your Hogwarts house, or a Hogwarts house that your friend or family member belongs to. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please like, comment, and subscribe to see all future videos by me. And as always, if there's any video that you would like to see next, please leave me a comment below. Thank you so much, and have a great day. Bye.